That still doesn't.
It's an honor to join you to celebrate Native American Heritage Month. My name is Maya Reyes, and I'm a proud member of the Lumbee tribe of North Carolina. I bring you greetings from the University of North Carolina at Pembroke. I'm the program coordinator for the Kurt and Catherine Locklear American Indian Heritage Center. For those of you who are not familiar with the American Indian Heritage Center, it was created in 2020 at UNC Pembroke. We have a newly renovated space for our center and celebrated our grand opening recently. We're located on the second floor of the iconic Old Main Building. Our focus is to create a sense of belonging for Native students at UNC Pembroke. Thank you all for your attendance at this event today. We hope you enjoy the performances and continue to celebrate your heritage.
Labor costs off the top. Whatever other things we should charge. You should just stay. Yeah.
So at this time, that was an opening song that was to set the mood and get our minds right for the time that we're going to spend together this afternoon. You're going to get to see some awesome dancing, get to hear some powerful songs, get to hear some knowledgeable stories. All of this showing who we are as a people. What I want to do first is I want to exhibition all of my dancers. If you go to a powwow, it would be referenced as a grand entry, so to speak, or intertribal. We want to get all of our dancers warmed up at this time and let them all showcase their style. That was like a good cup of coffee, is what I told the group earlier this morning. It was real early and cold this morning. I said for all of us here on that stage, we got the dance there, that was our cup of coffee waking us up. So it was a good lunch that we had, and our stomachs were full, and so that was another way of getting us nice and woke up for the rest of the performance that we're going to have here this afternoon. At this time, I want to ask our senior Miss Lumbee to start to make her way forward, and she's going to be doing a showcase for us here in a moment. As a Native nation, we have our royalty, so to speak, or our ambassadors. We have our senior Miss Lumbee, and our Miss Lumbee, our teen Miss Lumbee, our junior Miss Lumbee, and our little Miss Lumbee. They go all across what's now referred to as the United States, and in these different communities, these different tribal events, representing our people. You'll see them wearing a pine cone patchwork dress. The pine cone patchwork dress was first designed by Hayes Allen Mockler and then put into creation by my grandmother, Miss Kathleen Turtle. And it was a way for our dignitaries, for our ambassadors to have a dress that specifically represented the people here, the Lumbee, when they would go and make their way out for different events and for different intertribal gatherings such as powwows. She chose those colors to put on her dress because it was different favorite colors of herself and her family, and she used that sunflower that was put upon the dress too because that's her favorite flower. And there's also musical notes on here to represent her love for singing. As the dress has evolved, they've started to add the different attributes of their personality, of their interest, to kind of tell a story, so to speak, upon the dress that you are singing. At this time now, I'm going to turn the microphone over to her for our senior Miss Lumbee's presentation. Now at this time, we're going to ask all of our jingle dress dancers, if they would start to make their way forward. All of our jingle dress dancers. How many of y'all have ever been to a powwow before? Powwows made their way here in the 1960s and 70s through the powwow movement and the American Indian movement. It was ways for our native communities to be able to reclaim or promote more openly their indigenous identity through song and dance again without fear of persecution. I tell people quite frequently, in your older groups, I'll share this with you. I tell people quite frequently that until the American Indian Religious Freedom Act in the 1970s, before that time, we did not have protection for our rights as indigenous people, as it included our spiritual beliefs and our songs and our dances. And oftentimes, we could have been imprisoned, or at the very least, given a fine for openly singing and dancing the way that we're doing here today. And when I say a fine, imagine it's like getting a speeding ticket, except it's for being Indian. Powwows were a way for us to reclaim many different things. And many shared dances were given out in the powwow movement. Dances from our brothers and sisters in the plains. Dances from our brothers and sisters in the north around the Great Lakes. And that's where this dance originates from, the Ojibwe or the Anishinaabe people. This dance being a dance of healing, it's said that the sound that those jingles make as they hit together, that sound runs any sickness away. And still to this day, these dancers are called upon to dance for the sick in the community. So at this time now, women's jingle dress. Next, we want to bring our women's fancy shawl dancer. I spoke on this morning, but I want to say it again. How important it is when our youth get up and dance like this. Let's give them a round of applause, everybody. When the young people get up and they're proud of who they are and they showcase the style of dance of their choice, it's important that we encourage them. It's not an easy thing to put your regalia on and to learn this style of dance and to go through all those different steps. And so we are very proud of all of our youth that take the time to promote their culture on this stage and other places throughout their life. This women's fancy shawl dance first originated in Oklahoma Indian Territory from sped-up war dances, from the Halushka sped-up war dances, originally done by the men. As it was sped up and it was no longer necessarily considered a war dance, the women started to dance this style as well. And they took the shawl that was usually draped across their arm and draped it across their backs, and then over time they said that this dance resembled a butterfly. But it is one of the fastest dances in all of Indian country. And whenever you see those fancy dancers out there, it is truly a celebration of good health. You can come in, you can sit. I see y'all back there. Come sit if you like. Don't be shy at all. You're not late, you're right on time. Alright. Before we bring our next dancer up, a couple of quick things that I want to say. In what is now called North Carolina, we have the highest American Indian population east of the Mississippi, with the Lumbee tribe being the ninth largest tribe in the United States, with there being well over 500 tribes in the United States. So that can kind of give you an idea of how truly large the Lumbee people's tribe is. The Lumbee tribal territory consists of Robeson County, Scotland County, Hope County, and Cumberland County, with us having one of the largest tribal territory bases in the state. A lot of times people do not know that, and it's important to share those facts. We've been called many different things since our shores were visited. We've been called Indians, we've been called American Indians, we've been called Natives, we've been called Native Americans. There was a time when some of our older people in here can remember when they had us down as other. There was a time a few years ago when we were referred to as something else. And most recently, y'all know where I'm going with this. Most recently, we were referred to as indigenous creatures. I think that's probably my favorite. I many people. We were up there amongst the Suquamish here recently, and up there in Buckleshoot, we were hosting them there. Gentlemen, sing with. Y'all are coming to visit with us here today. Indigenous creatures. Indigenous creatures, that's, yeah. So we've been called many different things amongst our relationships with the peoples here that came here. But through powwows give us a lot of different awesome dances. It was that big drum. Originally we were water drum people. Small drum people. This being the original drum of our peoples. Many different tribes in the southeast and up and down the east coast uses a drum like this. It's hollowed out, and inside of it is actually water. And that's why it's called a water drum. Yeah. It was said that this was given to us by our relatives, the animals. They had observed a woman who was battling what we would call depression. And they saw this and they gave this drum to the people to say that the songs and the sounds and the dances that come from this drum is going to help to fix what we now call depression. And we understand that to be true because whenever we're using our drums, whenever we're dancing, we're happy. So at this time, we're going to showcase a Skanye Gaino set, our New Women Shuffle dance, one of our Ganas dances. Many of our peoples here being Ganas living their life in a longhouse manner. But we're going to showcase this Skanye Gaino set, and it goes back to some of the original beliefs on how this land was formed by Skyline and shuffling her feet on the back of a turtle. You're going to see her shuffling her feet in this dance, and it's representative of that. So this time now, Skanye Gaino say, One Wagaya. Onyo. Now at this time, we're going to showcase our songs that are our old style war dance. There's a tradition amongst our peoples that we still hold true to this day. When there's a thunderstorm that is making its way across our lands, we're quiet, we're respectful. We were taught this from a young age. I went and I stayed off for summer. I had roommates in my apartment that I was living in that were non-native. A really bad thunderstorm came through. They were still playing the Xbox. They were cooking on the stove, had the TV up real loud. And one of them even went and took a shower during a thunderstorm. I thought that was the most taboo thing I'd ever seen in my life. But I realized that those teachings that were taught to us in our community here were taught to us for a reason. It's because our elders, our ancestors, they passed that knowledge down of the importance of thunderstorms. Our grandfathers, the Waliasu, Ipnegehaga. And this dance originates from them. They were warriors on our behalf. First get our get. This was that also became a way that we would greet one another the tribes. You would be showcasing your accomplishments as a tribe in battle. And then you'd come and visit. You would let that visiting tribe know how great an ally you could be, or how great an enemy you could be, depending upon how that visit went. There's different variations of headdresses that we have on the Iroquois style Gaston, representing that our minds are well. Those torn feathers are supposed to act like a waterfall that cleanses our thoughts and our minds from any kind of negativity. Also, with the different tall bonnets and the feathers that you see that's standing straight up in those turbans, that's dating back all the way to the Red Man's Lodge amongst our peoples and beyond that even. Not to be confused with the war bonnet, because it's not a war bonnet. Our people here never had war bonnets. It was a spokesperson bonnet. I got the Iroquois bonnet. It was saying that your mind is elevated. That your mind is at a good place. So at this time now, Wasaz, Uni Wagahe. So now we're going to show you the evolution that our bunkhouse dances have taken as far as in the powwow arena. We were telling you about those dances that were brought here from our brothers and sisters in the West and our brothers and sisters in the North amongst the Great Lakes, but you're going to get to see our contribution to the powwow movement in this woodland style. There are three main styles of woodland. There's southeastern woodland that you're about to see. Then up in the northeast, amongst the coastal Algonquins of that area, they have a style of dance that they reference as Eastern War, that goes back to some of their pre-contact war dances. And then amongst the Great Lakes area, those woodlands, you have the Great Lakes woodland style, or the Ojibwe woodland style. So there's three main styles of woodland. What you're about to see now here is the southeastern style woodland. We have our own songs to go with this. The beat's a lot faster than you just saw. The steps are a little bit different. So at this time now, men and women, Eastern woodland. to step up, and he is going to be showcasing some things. I really feel like that you're going to enjoy one of our traditional weapons, so to speak. And then also he has a good story. I want you all to give him your undivided attention and listen to these good teachings that he has to offer.
Tanake, TNA Edu. Hello, how are you? Nia Yasuko. I said, I am Red Snake. That's my Indian name. Kataba Shiral Nina Sede. I said, I speak Kataba and Shiral language. That's what I'm speaking to you in this way. I would like to thank y'all for coming out today. And this is what we do. We've been doing this for a long time. This whole group here, these bigger boys, especially John and Kia, I know for sure that they've been doing this for years and years. Kia was born into it. I started doing it when I was 9 years old in Charlotte at Metroline Native American Association. So we've been doing this for a good while. But I would like to start off with a story. And this story was passed down to me by a good friend I would consider an uncle. And his name was Driver Pheasant. He's Cherokee. But this story is about one of our communities. And in this community, there was a family, and they lived in a wigwam. A wigwam is a round house, and it's a house that's built for just a family, a father and a wife and their children. And in this particular wigwam, there was the father, the mother, and they had a son. But the only difference is sometimes we have to take in our in-laws. And the father's father came to live with them in this way. Every morning, the father and the son, they would get up and they would go to the east. The reason why they go to the east, they go there to hunt deer. And they wanted to get that early start in the morning because the sun's up. They can get it's the new light of day, and they can get that game, and then they can come on back and do what they need to do around the wigwam, around the lodge, and other things, and school, and teaching your child the things how to survive, ways of survival. The mother, she would always get stuck at home taking care of the grandfather. The grandfather was very feeble, could not take care of himself, could not see good. And she would end up having to take care of him. That meant she had to clean him and feed him and take care of him in that way. And she would complain about it all the time. Every day she complained about it to the father. This one particular morning, the father got up to go hunting with his son, like they always do every morning. They go hunt that deer. This one particular morning, they get up. And the father takes the son and he gives him a blanket and gives him a robe. And he tells his son, I'm going to go to the east and hunt because I know I'm going to get the game and I'm going to come on back home and we'll have food for today, fresh meat for today. I want you to take your father to the west, as far to the west as you can. And I want you to leave him there in the forest. The little boy, he started crying because he knew, you know what's going to happen. If he leaves his grandfather in the forest in the west, you know what's eventually going to happen. He would die there. The little boy cried and said, please, Father, don't send my grandfather away. And the father scolded him. He said, you do what I tell you to do. You take your grandfather to the west and you leave him there. He said, Father, he got frustrated with his wife. And he had to do something that he didn't really want to do. But the little boy, being respectful and being a well-mannered child, he did what his father asked him to do. He took his father and grandfather to the west, and he left his grandfather there to die. When he got back home, the father came in, the little boy was already back. And he looked over in the distance and he saw that blanket. And he started yelling at his son. He said, I thought I told you to take your grandfather to the west and leave him there. He said, Father, I did exactly what you told me to do. And the father went over there and he picked that blanket up and it was cut in half. He said, well, what is this? He said, this is your half, Father, for when I have to take you out into the forest and leave you. The mother heard that. She started weeping because her son had great wisdom. So she started weeping. And she went to the father and she said, let's go to the grandfather. So they went back and got the grandfather and they brought him back home. See, this is a metaphor for you. I want you to remember this story. Remember this story because you will too get old and you'll need somebody to take care of you. So we tell our children these stories so that they will grow up knowing that I got to take care of my mom and dad. Because one day I'm going to get old. I'm going to need somebody to take care of me in that way. So I want you to take this story to heart, even the adults, even myself, take it to heart. Because one day we're going to get old and we're going to leave this world. So remember my story I told you and I hope you liked it. Thank you. I have one of my granddaughters, she loves it. She told me this morning this was hers. It's a blow gun. This blow gun was given to me in the late 80s by a dear friend of mine who had passed on. His name was Geek Crow, and he had a wife named Bertie Crow, and they had a son named Chick, and we all were friends. And they were from Cherokee. Geek made this here blow gun, and he told me I seen ways that they make the darts. The darts are made out of hardwood, and the ends are a thistle plant. If you ever ride down the road, you will see a plant. It has a ball on it, and it's called a thistle. But it has little hairs growing up out of it. Actually, Scotland County the high school has that as one on their emblem in the school is that thistle plant. It's a really strong plant. It has a really strong fiber that we can use to make cordage out of. And use these hairs to make this dart. This dart, the blow gun is made out of river cane. River cane is different from bamboos. If you notice the joints are longer, they're spaced out longer, they're like 12 inches apart. Bamboo is only like 6 inches apart. The joints are like 6 inches apart. But this doesn't get as big as bamboo. It only gets about this big, or maybe just a little bit bigger. And it takes a long time for it to grow. So they decided they would take these here and they would heat them up and straighten them. And a lot of the tribes did it. If you go around to a lot of the southeastern tribes, or even in South America, you'll find this blow gun. It's a native weapon or tool. And you'll find it in only the southeast and South America. Some of the tribes down in South America have it. They use it to hunt small game. We would use this to hunt rabbits or squirrels or birds, small birds, because that was our food in those days. And that's what we ate. And we depended on fresh meat every day. So I will show you how this works. It's a really cool, it's a cool tool. But my granddaughter, she loves calling it her toy, but I'll show you how it works. I have a tool at home that I push it out with. And the reason why it got stuck is I made this one here, but I made the thistle stick on it. It shoots a little bit better when it's thicker, but it's a little bit too thick and it's not going to go through there. And I thought I had trimmed it down enough last night that it would go through, but evidently it didn't work really well earlier today. But what happens is that thistle blows out and it starts getting swelled up in there and it's swelled up in there, and that's where it's at. But I would like to say to you before I leave, and Kay comes back up, in our way, we never say goodbye. And there's no words, I have found no native language that says goodbye. In our way, we say Yami Kate, in the Shirao and Catawba language, we say Yami Kate. So if you could say that with me, say Yami Kate. Means I'll see you later. Because we hope to see each other later. But we're going to add another word to it, okay? This is the most important word. If you don't remember any other word, remember this word, Nimasai. Let's say it one more time, Nimasai. Or in the Shirao way, they would say, Newa Sing. The same word, I love you, Newa Sing. I love you. So let's put it together now. Yani, Kate, Nimasai. I love you. I'll see you later. Waiwai Kri. God bless you.
All right, that was, I guess we're going to eat tonight, ready to hit the target, so we might get something to eat tonight. So, but again, that was something that we used, and we still try to promote a lot of our traditional ways. But today what I'm going to do now is play what's called American Indian Accordion Flute, and this is just another instrument that we made to do different ceremonies. Today we use it in times when women are giving labor. We play to get them, calm them down. We play at funerals, we play at weddings, we play at different events, graduations, all kinds of things we play at. The traditional way about it is, if you noticed earlier when Raging had the river cane, we actually would make flutes out of that too. Not only would they make the blowgun, but we'd also make flutes out of that. And the way we've done it is we would make a flute, the way we teach each other, teach you how to make a flute, teach you the beginning steps of the songs, and it's up to you to write your own music. But we believe that music is a gift from God, that gives them creative, that gives us songs. It's kind of like someone that's just born to sing and just has a really good voice. Everybody doesn't have that voice. Only certain people has really gifted voice to sing. And that's why we call them a gift. A gift is something that you need to give to someone. And any of y'all that have gifts, always give that back, because God gave it to you to give to other people. That's why He blessed you with them, and that's why we have what we have. So the music you hear is songs that is wrote by the person that is playing and the ones that have it. So all native flutists, it's their music, their song. Now today in time, we do have flutes like this one that are machine made and gives you different keys and different things. So a lot of things have evolved, so we can know what keys we're getting, and you can play certain songs with them. You can learn those songs. But today I'm just going to give you what it sounds like and what these songs mean different things to different people. So when we play, we always give them a piece of ourselves to you. So one thing I want you to do for especially my kids is just close your eyes and relax and just listen to the music. Now there's one thing about doing this. If you can see me, that means your eyes are closed. So it's a little trick about closing your eyes. But again, just relax and just listen to us play this music. So we notice right at the end, I play Amazing Grace, a song that we sing here a lot in different churches and different places that we be at. So just to give you the way of where you can have traditional ways and more modern songs. So that is what we call American Indian Quartet Balloon. You notice there's two flutes that's into one. So if you heard it at certain times, they harmonize with each other. So they make flutes now where they'll harmonize with each other. They do make some that has three into one. But the more flutes you got, I mean, the more weed you got to blow, and that gets a little harder sometimes. But again, thank you very much.
Right. So now at this time, we're going to have a little bit of fun. I want to ask if John will step out and pick a couple of people, just a couple, to come out here on stage. We're going to do a friendship dance. I will tell you a secret though about him, that if you're like, me, he won't pick you. I see the hands going up, man. See? All right, as you make your way to the stage, you're going to be holding hands and making a circle. You're going to be holding hands and making a circle. All right, that's it. Hands will go down, but don't you worry, you're going to be part of it too. I'm going to tell you how. Make the circle big, everybody. Make the circle big and hold hands. All right, everybody out in the audience, I want you to pay close attention to what I'm about to tell you. This is going to be a friendship dance. And you will be able to participate in this as well. This friendship dance, representing the circle of life. There will come a period of time at the end of this dance where they're all going to run to the center and yell as loud as they can. And when they yell, I want all of you out in the audience to do that as well. And the reason why we're yelling is it's a celebration of our life, of good health. That's why we're going to yell like that. We want the Creator to know how happy we are that He's blessed our lives, that we're still here, and we're here in a good way. Now, to everybody on stage, I want you to listen very closely to what I'm telling you. I don't want to see any of you pulling on each other's arms, because that could be harmful to the other people on the stage. They could fall, you could hurt their shoulder. So I'm speaking to all my younger people here. Do not yank on each other's arms. Do not let go of each other's hands, because if you do that, it will break the medicine that is going on. There will come a period of time when John will let go. And he'll turn this into a snake dance before he takes it back to a circle. But just remember to continue to hold hands. Everybody out in the audience, don't forget, when they run to the center at the end of this dance and yell loudly, I want all of you here in the audience to yell loudly as well, celebrating that you're happy, that you're still alive, and in good health. All right. As you take your seats, there's a couple of things that I want to share with all of you before we go into our closing song. What we were saying is that we want all of you to keep that good mind that he taught to give the boss man. And when we say keep that good mind, what we view as a good mind is a mind that's being used. So use your mind in a good way. Stay educated. At this time, I want to acknowledge
You choose
the teachers
like 10.
that are here today.
Okay.
We truly appreciate the responsibility and the duty of our educators to the youth, to the young people. Next to your family, teachers are some of the most important people that you'll ever have in your life. Appreciate them for the great sacrifice that they give you every day, because it's not an easy thing. It's not an easy responsibility to be a teacher, especially during the COVID times and all these different things. It changed a lot, and it made it very difficult for our educators. So at this time, I want to give them their respect and their acknowledgement. Let's give a round of applause for our teachers. So once again, I would say and encourage all of you to be involved with your culture and keep your identity alive. Learn the songs, the dances, and the languages of your people, the foods of your people, the stories of your family. It's important. Everybody sitting in this room comes from a family with amazing stories and history and strength. And we should all do our part to promote the identity of our peoples. So at this time now, we're going into our closing song.
As we do our closing song, I am using our hand drum. In our culture, the hand drum is the symbol, is the heartbeat of Mother Earth. This song is called You Chose to Be My Friend. It's one of my favorite songs because we do choose our friends. I would like to leave something with you. As always, you need to honor and respect your parents. And as he just said, always honor and respect your teachers. You need to love one another and love your neighbors. Don't do drugs. And as you get older, and if one of your friends offer you or ask you to do drugs, they are not your friend. Always remember that. Because a friend would not want to hurt another friend. Listen to the words of my song, You Chose to Be My Friend. There for me through it all. When everyone around said that I would fall, you were my friend, and you believed in me. Through the good times and the bad, at times I felt that you were all I had.
Thank